Today is Friday, December 13th. Friday the 13th. And I'm just wondering which Cowboy team shows up Sunday in Carolina. And then later, the pleasure of witnessing greatness in golf.
Are all financial advisors fiduciaries? Fewer than you think. Not knowing could reduce your lifestyle. Hi, I'm Mitch Kramer, founder and CEO of Fluent Financial. A fiduciary is a regulatory term to reduce conflicts of interest in wealth management. A fiduciary always works in your best interest. A non-fiduciary advisor might put their compensation or company ahead of yours. At Fluent Financial, we are certified financial planners acting as fiduciary advisors. To learn more, go to fluentfinancial.com or Fluent Financial's YouTube channel.
In 1993, Bob opened the original Bob's Steak and Chop House on Lemon Avenue. 32 years later, the original Bob still greets you at the original Bob's. And now his sparkling new Bob's at Craig Ranch has opened in McKinney. Same fantastic beef and fresh seafood at these two Bob's, each run by the Bob's Steak and Chop House. For most of the year, Carolina has just been wandering around. But then, Carolina's been wandering around for a while now. The last Carolina winning record of any kind was 2017. But, remember when the Cowboys used to go to Super Bowls? Carolina went to the 2015 Super Bowl only to lose to Denver. But the first 7 games of this year, you talk about awful. The Panthers were 1-7, and in those 8 games, outscored by 147 points. The average final of a Panther game in the first 8 games of this season saw them lose by 18 points. Slaughtered by New Orleans, the Chargers, the Bears, the Falcons, the Commanders, and Denver. Dave Canales is in his first year as the coach. Dave pretty much found the cupboard bare. But he also found one other thing was troubling. And that's the guy that Carolina sold its soul for in the 2023 draft. Bryce Young, the quarterback from Alabama, was looking nothing like a number one should look. And after a point, Canales had seen enough, and he benched Bryce Young. By the way, properly. He was terrible. And Bryce Young got to stand on the sidelines and watch the Red Rifle play, Andy Dalton. Now, whatever happened with Bryce Young standing on the sidelines, we'll never know. But then Canales put him back in the lineup. And Bryce Young was calmer. He was more focused. Carolina picked up on that vibe. And remember those first horrible 8 games of the year? Minus 147 points? In the last 5 games, they're only minus 10 points. They beat New Orleans in the rematch, beat the Giants, lost in overtime by 3 to Tampa Bay, lost by 3 to Kansas City, then lost by 6 to Philadelphia, and maybe could have, should have beaten Philadelphia, except the young wide receiver Xavier Legette dropped the ball at the Philadelphia goal line that would have put Carolina ahead in the waning moments. Carolina still doesn't have much talent. But Dave Canales has them playing very hard, very focused football. Yeah, they're still short of talent. Make no mistake about that. Very short of talent. but they are not quitting. I think we can count on that Sunday at home against Dallas. But that's the question you have about the Cowboys. What's their mindset coming to the game on Sunday? Dallas thought it had turned a corner, winning 2 in a row before hosting Cincinnati on Monday night. And then they had that gut-wrenching loss in the last minute to the Bengals. And the Cowboys' plan was they'd won 2 in a row, beat Cincinnati, then come to Carolina and beat Carolina, and be 7-7 and still be reasonably in the playoff picture. Well, that's pretty much down the drain. So, what Cowboy team shows up? They lost horribly last week and then saw one of their young, high-energy, emerging players, DeMarvion Overshown, suffer a gruesome knee injury that is so bad that he won't even be back next season, recovering from the surgery he's going to have to go through. Carolina has demonstrated they will play for 60 minutes and play hard. The Cowboys find themselves not only missing Overshown this week, but also starting center Connor Beebe, who likely won't be back because of concussion he suffered against Cincinnati. So there'll be more juggling in the offensive line without Beebe and the guy who starts next to him, right guard Zach Martin, who's gone for the year. You know, for Dave Canales, the coach of Carolina, he every Sunday must somehow find a way to try to overcome the loss of talent. Carolina just doesn't have many good players, but they try, and they try hard. For Cowboys coach Mike McCarthy, he's spending this week trying to convince the Cowboys to put last week behind them. Next, the joy of witnessing greatness.
For the last 23 years on KTCK Radio The Ticket, I've anchored the Normathon. It's an all-day broadcast benefiting Austin Street Center for the Homeless. I believe the best homeless center in America. Over those 23 years, the Normathon has raised $9.5 million in cash for Austin Street. And we could not have done nearly that without the incredible help of Crest Cars. The centerpiece of every Normathon has been the raffling off of 3 gorgeous Crest vehicles. This year, beginning on Monday, December 2nd, and running through the day of the broadcast of the Crest Cars Normathon, that's the 26th. We'll be selling raffle tickets at $100 each. Here's your chance to win one of 3 beautiful brand new Crest cars, a Cadillac, an Infiniti, and a Volvo. The tickets are easy to get and very safe by going to the website austinstreet.org and clicking on Normathon. Use your credit card. These tickets also make great Christmas stocking stuffers. The winners will be drawn live on the air December 26th at 7:10 p.m. on the broadcast of the Normathon. We will sell no more than 4,500 tickets. The raffle tickets sell out early every year. So again, get your $100 raffle tickets at austinstreet.org and then click on Normathon.
You know, there are a ton of really, really good golfers on the tour these days. But head and shoulders above that group is Scotty Scheffler. Scotty Scheffler just got his 3rd consecutive Jack Nicklaus PGA Player of the Year in professional golf. the last person to win 3 Player of the Year awards consecutively? Tiger Woods from 2005 to 2007. Now, I'm not trying to tell you that Scotty Scheffler is Tiger Woods in the making. But you know what? He's making something. In another year or 2 or 3, if his dominance of the Pro Tour continues, we're going to have to start talking about his place in history. Last year, he won the Players' Championship, the Arnold Palmer Invitational, the Masters. All 3 of those tournaments he won within a month. Then he also won the RBC Heritage, the Memorial Tournament, that's Jack's tournament, the Travelers Championship, and then, of course, to end the season, the FedEx Cup. There wasn't any question who was going to be the Player of the Year. In 25, well, wait a minute. It's still 24, but the 25 Golf Tour has begun. Let's not get into that, okay? But anyway, 25 has already started here in 24. And Scheffler started his year by winning the Hero World Championship. I don't know if you saw that tournament. It was so tight going into the final round, and it still seemed tight in the middle of the final round. And suddenly, Scheffler had a 5-shot lead, and he was smiling and striding down the fairways. He's a really, really, really good player. He's won 2 Masters. His focus now, start adding more Masters to his resume. But there is one thing for sure. We are witnessing greatness in golf. How much greater will it become? We don't know that, but it's fun watching.
Today's episode brought to you by Fluent Financial, Retire Sooner, Better Lifestyle. And by Crest Cars. There's good, there's better, and then there's Crest. And by Bob's Steak and Chop House.
Thanks for listening to today's episode of Just Wondering with Norm Hitzges. If you enjoyed what you heard, please hit follow, and a fresh new episode will be delivered to you every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And if you know someone who might enjoy our work, please share it with them. I'm Norm Hitzges, and I'm always just wondering about something.
And I'm Mary Hitchkus, and I'm just wondering too.